Pokemon Emerald is considered to be one of the best Pokemon games of all time, from its limited but fun Pokemon variety to its challenging gym leaders and Elite Four. Even though the games around it have gotten a little more love through the ROM hacking community, it's still gotten its fair share of fun challenges. This is Inclement Emerald, a ROM hack by Buffelsalt of Pokemon Emerald. It's often compared to Radical Red in its changes to the base game with Pokemon, moves and abilities, and even items up to Generation 7. This means that every time you play through the game, it can be a completely different experience. Alongside this, the game also has incredibly challenging boss fights, not only due to their Pokemon, but due to their specific gimmicks. Due to this, it is an incredibly popular game to Nuzlocke. However, this isn't enough for me, since I've already beaten Nuzlockes of it multiple times. Because of this, I've decided to set myself an incredibly arbitrary rule. I can only use Generation 1 Pokemon. This means that the original 151 are the only Pokemon I can catch for the entire Nuzlocke. No Salamence, no Garchomp, and no Charjabug, unfortunately. I start off my adventure by picking Bulbasaur, since you can pick any starter from any generation in this game. I decided to pick Bulbasaur since it helps me the most in the early game, and I can buy a Charizard from the game corner later on anyways. And I don't need Blastoise, since it's garbage and anyone who tells you otherwise is just plain wrong. After beating my rival's Torchic to the ground, I catch a Goldeen, Tentacool, and Magikarp before having to endure the pain of watching Wally try to catch a Ralts. He does, it's not like anything he did is wrong, but I just don't like Wally. After reaching Rustboro, I go up to Route 115 and catch a Psyduck in the newly added Sea Spree Cave. And after a few tweaks and preparations, I fight Roxanne. Tentacool is easily able to deal with Aron, who fortunately does not set up Stealth Rocks, as her biggest threat in Nosepass comes in. Fortunately, thanks to Psyduck's ability Cloud9, even Sandstorm's special defense boost can't save Nosepass, despite a big heal in Berry Juice. Unfortunately though, Roxanne switches Nosepass out into Storm Drain Lilip, forcing me to switch to my designated counter, Ivysaur. Luckily, Ivysaur is able to power through the powered grass type's onslaught of Rock Tombs. However, I get cocky and switch to Magikarp as it's about to succumb to poison, forgetting it has Pain Split. This ends up working in my favor, however, as I can switch back into my starter on a Giga Drain and kill it before it can do anything more. Nosepass comes back in, and without its Berry Juice, it's no match for the duck. In comes Tyrant. This thing is incredibly threatening for my team, with Strong Jaw boosted Poison Fang and Bite, and with a threatening Rock Tomb and an irritating Dragon Tail. Alongside this, it has Sturdy and Red Card, meaning that I will be forced to switch out involuntarily at least once while killing it. Psyduck gets hit by a Bite before Bubble Beaming it for over half, as red damage brings out Tentacool. I Bubble Beam once again, but it lives on what has got to be 1 HP and brings Ivysaur out with a Dragon Tail. I can't kill it though, and Aurora Borealis is Roxanne's second to last Pokemon. I can deal with it decently with Goldeen, and Anorith comes out. As it bug bites, stealing my Iron Berry, Goldeen is lazy and stays fully paralyzed. This means that I have to let it die to get a clean switch where Tentacool is able to killing it, giving me my first gym badge. With a new level cap of 25, I can get a Gyarados, and after beating the Rusturf Tunnel Aqua Grunt, I catch and execute in the newly added grass on Route 105 above Dewford Town. Then I go to the newly added Dewford Meadow, where I catch a Butterfree, and inside the manor I catch a Rattata. Because this game is annoying, I have to then go to Slateport, where I catch a Horsea, and above on Route 106 I catch a Magnemite. And after a few TMs and berries, I go to fight Brawly. Brawly's team is full of very scary fighting types, including Breloom, Lucario, Hitmonchan, and a very bulky Hariyama. I'm able to lead Butterfree, and thanks to Compound Eyes, I can safely one-shot the lead Meditite with an Air Slash. Facing down Hitmonchan, I pivot through Raticate in order to switch into Executor on a weak Drain Punch, take an Ice Punch through my Yachi Berry and one-shot it with a Psyshock, which attacks Hitmonchan's weaker physical defense. Eviolite Duot is dealt with via Butterfree. Lucario can be killed using Bulldoze Gyarados. And Ivysaur kills Breloom with Sludge, which just leaves Hariyama. I'm able to Leech Seed it as it bulks up, and then proceed to whiff a Sleep Powder as it yet again sets up. I'm able to hit it next time though, but it's useless as it wakes up after sleeping for one turn. Thankfully, it just uses Bulldoze as I switch to Butterfree, and Air Slash finishes it off, giving me my second gym badge. A few of my Pokemon are able to evolve thanks to a new level cap of 39, and the Gyakko grunts in the Slateboard Museum are no bother, even after Archie pulls up with the unbelievably stacked Pokemon, including Mightyena. However, after this there is a tough rival fight where Mimikyu is a massive threat. Magneton is able to deal with the Swallow, Golduck with Combusken, Venusaur with Breloom, and Araquanid is dealt with using Tentacle. Since Mimikyu is so hard to deal with, I end up PP stalling Drain Punches and killing it with Raticate's Crunch. Someday I'll find an answer that doesn't involve that, but that day is not today, so we roll. Now at Marvel, I can buy a Charizard from the casino, Pokemon's #1 place to bet your mortgage since 2002. I can also go to the daycare center and hatch eggs, which give me a Dratini, Ponyta, Rhyhorn, and Ghastly. And after a relatively complicated gym trainer, I challenge Watson, the electric gym leader. This team looks easy on paper, but it's actually much more complicated than it seems. Alolan Raichu can do a lot of damage with Psychic, Rotom Mow threatens any ground types you bring, and Manectric does much more damage than one would think. In addition to this, every one of Watson's Pokemon has Volt Switch, so without any ground types, these Pokemon can switch anytime, meaning that tanky Pokemon and strategic pivots are crucial. That being said, I just one-shot delete Galvantula with Charizard. I switch to Venusaur as Manectric comes in, and take advantage of my starter's Stick Pad ability to take Aurora Beam and the ensuing Flamethrowers, as I Leech Seed, Sleep Powder, Synthesize, and then Bulldoze it to death. I'm able to deal with Raichu with Thief Executor as Magneton comes in. Tentacruel eject buttons into Raticate, who was just supposed to get some damage off, and eject button again into Charizard, but after a prize, I just kill it with the Rat. This means that I need to risk a crit on Rotom, because it could go for Volt Switch and I don't want to risk my Charizard to that. Luckily nothing happened, and Charizard Flamethrowers it. Finally, Venusaur is able to simply outstall Lantern, and Watson is defeated, and as the third badge is mine. Machoke, Koffing, and Poliwhirl are swiftly added to the team, evolving shortly after, and Fall Arbor is upon us. Unlike the vanilla games where this place is rather uneventful, going down to Route 114, telling the Team Magma off, and then going up to Mount Chimney to fight Maxie. However, this is different in Inclement Emerald, because inside Meteor Falls there is a tag battle with your rival against Courtney and a Magma Grunt. This fight is very annoying since there is permanent stun from Ninetales' Drought, Houndoom can do a lot of damage. Krookodile is very bulky, and there is not much that can kill Excadrill reliably without taking a beating. Having the right Pokemon is crucial for this fight, since there are very few Pokemon that actually work out, especially as a lead. So, my options are limited. I end up choosing Weezing, Tentacruel, and Machamp for my team. Unfortunately, that just was not enough. Tentacruel did not do enough damage, my rival's Pokemon weren't of enough help, and a few bad decisions caused my doom in this fight. With slightly different encounters and the experience of this fight, I could probably do it again. So I ran it back. Duck Trio is arguably one of the best leads in this fight, since Fast Earthquake can kill both of the lead Pokemon. Keyword can. Duck Trio, even with an adamant nature and the Life Orb, only has an 81% chance of killing Excadrill. However, I have no choice but to go for it. A Duck Trio sacrifice is necessary on the last Pokemon as my rival's Mimikyu takes down the Shift. Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously? Well, Machamp has to die now in order to finish that fight. Are you happy, Brendan? You have blood in your hands. I hope you know that. Quick intermission, these videos take a while to make, so subscribing really helps. Most people who watch these videos are not subscribed, and doing so helps me understand what kind of videos you want to watch in the future. Okay, back to the run. This run is slightly different, since I got a Dugong, Gengar, and Slowbro instead of Golduck, Raticate, and Poliwrath respectively. I also got a Golem on Route 114 this time after a rough grind with Rock Smash. Executor, Golem, Slowbro, and Dugong are gonna help me beat an otherwise pretty tough Tabitha fight, being that my next opponent is Maxi. Crobat is very easily dealt with using Rhydon, taking advantage of the opportunity to steal its Assault Vest with Thief. Right after that though, Maxi switches to Choice Band Zweilous. I switch to my sturdy Magneton, eat a superpower, eject button out into Golem, live another superpower with sturdy Insurance, and kill the dragon with Counter. Gyarados deals with Sheer Force Camerupt, Smackdown into Earthquake from Rhydon kills Weezing, and Charizard kills Victreebel with a Flamethrower. Finally, Golem finishes off what Rhydon started with Stone Edge, opening the path to the Fire Gym. I catch a Growlithe and Magmar in the newly added areas to the side of Jagged Pass, and inside it I catch a Fearow. Now you can forget about half of those because they are genuinely useless. Flannery is super difficult in this game, with even more permanent Sun and some of the strongest sweepers in the game, like Speed Boost Blaziken with an absolutely disgusting combination of Endure, Witness Policy and Reversal, and Quiver Dance Volcarona with Roost and a Chardy Berry. Golem leads on the Torkoal, killing it with 2 Earthquakes as it sets up Stealth Rocks, which is pretty bad for me. Houndoom comes in and Solar Beams the Assault Vest Rapidash switch, and then Dark Pulsing it as the horse luckily avoids a flinch and kills it with high horsepower. Rhydon easily switches into Talonflame and smacks down the Volcarona switch after Talonflame U-turns. Arcanine gets annoyed a bit with Volcarona's Roost, though a Flare Blitz into extreme speed kills it. Talonflame comes back in, and this time Rhydon Earthquakes as the bird U-turns once again, sniping Blaziken on the switch. Gyarados deals with Arcanine with approximately 6 frames, and with another 4, Golem finishes off Talonflame in order to get the 4th gym badge. For the sake of making more content on this, and because I don't have enough time to write and produce an entire video regarding this whole run, I'm going to leave it off here. This specific challenge will probably have 3 videos, though a longer second might be enough to go through the entire run. Outside of that, you can expect a few more videos coming up from me since I am starting to get a bit less busy, but I wouldn't consider that to be in the immediate future. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for part 2.